episode of In the Know Podcast. I am, of course, Jaycutta, man in charge, T the chef.
No in charge.
Mad scientist behind the scenes, you did. But yeah, it's good to be here today, you know what I'm saying, with y'all one more time to share a couple things on our mind, you know? Things we,
It's
what we see, how we see this thing.
hold on. You gotta bring it with the energy. You know, I don't know how much you're gonna get from me. You're gonna have to be the lightning plug today. Okay?
But I think one of the topics is enough lightning plug.
Oh, yeah.
Might as well start with Brother Sal.
That's Mr. Marvin. That's all I want to say. I'm gonna tell you what made all that funny.
What's that? Talk
Because
about
somebody said, you seen the video of Marvin. And I said, I got to think, I was like, man, I ain't seen nothing. You know, the last thing I really seen him about, you know, was him accepting some kind of award. I didn't even know the video was.
Yeah, I missed the video for a while too. I was a little slow on that one too.
Son, when I seen that, I cried. I mean, the laughter could not stop. I couldn't. I remember it said, lock the ushers, lock the doors.
Right.
Lock the doors. So I was like,
Right.
what?
Right.
Nah, man, he playing. Nah,
Right.
you got it all.
I'm saying, but this thing I was wondering, isn't that a kidnapping charge?
If you hold people against their will, yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
And the thing about it is you can't say it was a joke or anything because it's being videotaped.
Right.
Somebody had that, so like he said, oh no, you know, it wasn't nothing like that. I was just, no man, somebody was recording that. I was like, oh, but I was like, I think that in the part where he say, when he was telling the people, you know, in a sense, it costs to be up there.
Boy, that right there.
Boy,
that went over a lot of people's head. A lot of people didn't pay attention to that part.
I was like,
Yeah. Cause he wanted them to sow again. He wanted them to pay more money.
right. I was
So
like,
yeah, it costs to stand up there.
yeah. I was like, oh, okay.
I'm like, ooh,
Yeah, I stopped. I was like,
that wasn't in the manual. All right.
but I mean, I don't know, man. I really can't. I don't know if I can knock him or say anything bad because I've seen people who have told me, hey, when I go to a new city, I had a friend that's the way they move,
Mm-hmm.
and they said when they go to a new city, how they figure out which church they want to attend is they ride and see what cars in the parking lot. I kid you not. And I'm looking like, well, maybe them people just got better credit or something. Doesn't mean that the church as a whole is gonna bring you that kind of, you know what I mean, financial freedom or stability that you're thinking of. But I mean, I didn't get it.
That's because it's image. It's image over substance. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
So you gotta look the part.
if you pull up in a bunch of L dogs, different things, Benzos in the front, you know, you got a bunch of nice, you know, somebody might have a Maserati too, whatever the case may be.
So the appearance is we doing good.
It's just like the same reason why people shop at certain stores, because certain people represent those certain stores. So if you're able to shop at those stores, you're able to be looked upon as a person that has this or that amount, or you live this type of life or that type of life.
Right.
You know, it's that kind of thing. It's sad, but that's a lot of, you know,
That's just,
a lot of the churches.
that was bananas to me.
Man.
I was kind of taken back. Like, really? We That's what we do.
I wasn't surprised. I've seen everything except for lock the doors. I hadn't seen the lock the door thing.
Man,
That was new.
That was deep.
When he said lock the door, I was like, oh, that's gangster.
Then he put on his
I said, well, Marvin, you gangster.
Lock the door. I was like, what's the same man? This same man that never would have made it.
He never would have made it if he locked that door. Hey, well, I'm telling you something.
And you can't let nobody on the internet get a hold of that like that.
Too
man.
late. Too late.
They done murdered Mr. Marvin.
Late, man. Like I saw one video. This was probably the funniest video I've seen yet. They had a dude, and the little quote of it was like, "This is what I say to keep my ex out of heaven." Lock the doors. And he was doing that right. Oh my God, it was so funny, man. I almost threw up laughing.
I see you one today, man.
Yeah, that was so funny, man.
Where they done pulled the Ricky scene from Boys in the Hood. And they got my man out the window with a Bible. He sliding the Bible up like a man with the shotgun. Yeah, it was, man. I was in stitches. I couldn't help it, boy. Yeah. You know, I remember my man say, Ricky! I'm like, man, they ain't have to do Mr. Marvin like that, man. That wasn't cool at all.
But see, this is the thing, though, man. There's nothing left for the church to do. There's nothing left. They done been gangster. I done seen that. I mean, flesh, everything, feel. Like I done seen. It was one video. I was like, okay, this can't even be a real church. Like they was just really wild. I'm talking about like they was dancing like stripping type dancing. You know what I'm saying at the church? Oh, real talk. Yeah, it was a video. It's crazy, but I think this.
You haven't seen that.
I definitely. I'm gonna try to find that because it's
at the church.
Yes, sir. Getting it in. You know where the praise team stand?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they were shopping. Yeah, you would have if it was another setting, you would have seen ones all across the daggum all the time. Yes, sir. But it's I'm saying this. I said all that to say this, man. The church has done everything possible that the world has done as well. So you can't now. This is the thing. This I look at this as part of the great fall away from the church because. I was looking at Fox News the other day, right? No, this past week, and I saw a church like they broke away from the Baptist convention. I was like, oh,
yeah,
that's heavy.
Yeah,
that's real.
That's upstate, right?
Yeah,
yeah, okay.
And they have several churches. So I was like, ooh, that's big because you know what I'm saying. Because now you playing with grown people money,
right?
You see what I'm saying? You see, because we all know it's a business. I'm just saying. But you playing with the cats that run the business now.
Gotcha.
You talking about getting out of that and all that. So this that's why I say it's a lot of stuff that's about to happen concerning finances when it relates to the church. A lot of things are about to start popping out, and folks are gonna kind of be like, really? You know, but it's gonna be stuff that it's been coming because people are finding out more information online. They're learning more. People are doing more research now. They're not just sitting there listening and being fed foolishness. People are actually trying to find out what's going on now. And boy, it's starting to hit the fan. And it's just one after the other. Well, but Mr. Sapp, he made it almost comical because, you know what I'm saying? He really slapped.
That came with a laugh.
It did. You know what I'm saying? Because you looking like, man, there ain't no way.
Yeah, like
First of all, ain't no way in hell you lock me in the church. No way. Because me and whoever that was at that door, we done tore some furniture up. Because if I wanted to leave good evening, I'm getting out of there.
Right.
You see? So that's why I say it. And look at the image that puts out there. You're recognized that high. You're recognized as that person. And you know what, man? It's not even about the money. It's not even about the money you're trying to raise. It's not what you're doing, it's how you do it.
Right.
Dude,
right.
you pulled a Frank Lucas. He might as well have. That's probably what's gonna be the next little meme video. When Frank emptied the sugar jar, huh?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah,
You
that's.
tell my man that's 20%.
Do you hear me? That's gonna be your boy. Watch they get Marvin with that one. Watch they hit him with it. Because it's a gangster move. Like you basically told those people they're gonna pay you or they can't go home.
Mm.
And so this is the thing. This will get me. Because it's church people defending them now, which we knew that was gonna happen. Okay, but this is my only question. Find it in the scriptures, and I leave you alone. But you can't find that in the scriptures, man. That ain't how you function, man. That's gangster. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not gonna find that. I know you ain't gonna find that in scripture. But I would love for them to humor themselves and try to look for it. But you're not gonna find
But
it.
I mean, that ain't no different than, saying, it was certain churches that was, where you had to take your tax returns.
Right.
And all that kind of stuff. And I was like,
That wasn't in there either.
I don't remember that coming up. You know what I mean?
Because it's a full blown business now. You got to remember, people go to like theology. I'm sorry, they go to school for theology and become theologians, and because it gets you good careers now. A preacher is a career when it used to be looked upon as a position of, honor. Like whoa, like I don't want that. Now it's like I can get about six digits off that thing. So it's a career choice.
So like you say, now they just taking it as
it's a business.
An upgrade to your career path. Not
man, that's exactly what it is. It's now beside real estate, agents, different things of that nature. Here's theology.
Oh, that's what else they done. They put him on with the cash money preachers when Damon Wayans and what's his name? Jim Carrey. When he was on that cover. I'm like, boy, you can't let nobody out here getting that. They gonna punish you, boy.
Man, that's terrible.
Yeah. Man.
But see, I wonder what the people who are connected with him had to say after that. You know what I'm saying? Who the people he answered to? What did they have to say about that? You know what I'm saying? Those are the kind of questions I wonder, because if that's the case, church almost over.
Yeah, but I mean,
you know what I'm saying? Because you ruined. There was no faith, nowhere, no nothing, no nothing.
And I think that's the part that I don't
You feel me?
I don't understand, and maybe somebody can clear that up for me too. I apologize to everybody out there. I'm battling a headache right now, but I had to be here to make this thing, do what it do. But that's the thing, and I had the same thing happen to me probably I'm gonna say about 5-6 years ago, right? Mm-hmm. So it's a church. They were taking donations for clothing and stuff to help out like a homeless shelter or something, or whatever. So, me and my family, we all hop in the car, we get our stuff together, we go to where they telling us to drop it off at, right? So then I meet the pastor. The pastor got on a diamond bracelet. I ain't talking about the watch, dog. Now it all could have been glass. You get what I'm saying? But your appearance is, I got money, right? So if you a true believer, and you know God done been there for you, He always gonna provide. If your congregation or somebody is lacking, why wouldn't you just cash in what you got on? If you really believe that, God gonna bring it back to you. You know what I'm saying? Or He gonna provide for you. So why don't you take that off your wrist? Or take, you know what I'm saying? I ain't even talking about the chain that was around his neck. And so I'm looking at him and I'm going like, you know what? You got me, dog. Because I was looking at what you were trying to do. And I ain't mind, packing up my stuff or what my kids are willing to give away to donate to him. We still did, but it was the everlasting impression in my head. Like, dude, if you a true believer, then it ain't gonna matter. You should be able to go and cash that in right now to take care of whatever you need to take care of for these folks, and it ain't gonna bother you because you already know God gonna make a way. You know, if you truly believe that, what was your harm in that? You trying to impress everybody else that you got it. Like, that ain't, like you say, find that in the Bible. Find that in the Word. What they got to do with anything? And so it kind of rubbed me in a way that it wasn't coming from a place of hate or nothing like that. I just know I can't deal with what you got going on, bro, because that don't make no sense to me. Like, that's like me having a homeless shelter, and I'm telling you, the lights gonna get cut off, and the water gonna get cut off. But you I pull up to wherever you at, and I got $180,000 Escalade on riding. That don't make no sense at all. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You cash the truck. If you truly about your mission, cash the truck in to take care of the spot. It'll come back to you if you believe it. But if you hustling, that's just what it is. It's what it is. It's a hustle, dog. You gonna let everybody else around you take care of that part, and you still gonna keep yours. Yeah, so you got people out here who struggling now, but gonna help you with your mission. But you don't care enough about your mission to cash in your worldly possessions to take care of it. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Makes plenty of sense to me.
I mean, I get it in the long run, but I mean, how long you think you're gonna keep that hustle going?
For a long time, man. Because you got to remember, the hustle is taught by the ultimate hustlers. You have to see what it is. It's a circle, and all it is that now we're getting to see all the stuff we never paid attention to while we were in church. It's starting to now come out because real needs are starting to show. Because times are getting tough. Inflation is hitting. So now people are really not able to give.
Right.
People really are struggling on their bills. So it's a lot of areas that are now being exploited, being blown up to where you're paying attention to them when you didn't used to.
Right.
You know what I mean? So a lot of that stuff is starting to rub people the wrong way because everybody's been in this fantasy world of church being so fluffed up. Well, now you see what the fluff was about.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? You know, shout out to the church that backed out of the Baptist convention. Man, look, they showing you, look, man, I gotta report my money to you. See, the thing about it is, help your elders in your church. Because our older people shouldn't be struggling with their bills.
No, man,
you know what I'm saying? Going without food, different stuff. They shouldn't be going without anything, especially when they're part of an organization. Some places won't even bury them when they pass.
That's great.
You know what I'm saying? Without you paying money. It's a lot of churches I've heard. Man, I've heard that so many times.
Yeah, I've heard the ones that wouldn't even let people host a funeral.
Right, unless you pay.
Yeah, and I was like, hold on.
Yeah, but you
that person been going to that church
for gave you money for years.
For years. I mean,
but it's like a job. No matter how long you're on that job, if you get fired before you cash in your 401k, you got a problem. You see what I'm saying? Like it's the same way. What I was trying to tell him was, because we talked about it at the barbershop, it was funny at the time, but we had gotten to a realistic point of it. Like, look, man, how you do anything is how you do everything. There's no system in this country that's different than the other. The job system is the same as the church system. We just have to accept it. That's why they give you books. That's why they teach you all that stuff for the people. You know what I'm saying?
You ain't got to accept it.
If you're gonna go now, you gotta accept it.
You got to realize this is what it is.
You know?
And change it to what you need it to be. And if you don't need to be there or something, but I mean, I do want to give a shout out. I want to give a shout out to those churches, pastors.
Yeah, that's really doing
doing the work
Yes, sir.
And ain't out here trying to hustle nobody.
Yeah.
That to me
Yeah.
is what it, you know what I'm saying? That's
Yeah.
what it's truly about, man.
Yeah.
And people, like I say, it's just like what you were saying. You know, in these times, man, ain't nobody really got nothing they can throw away.
Right.
It's tight.
Yeah. But see, those churches you talking about mostly have 8 to 10 members, 20 members.
Yeah, they
You know what I'm
big.
saying? They're small
Small.
churches, and you don't know about them. You don't hear about them. You don't see them. You know what I'm saying? Because like you was talking about the people, man, they ain't no Maseratis out front. Them Chevrolets and Fords and stuff parked out front. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Something
It's
you can pay for parts on.
Right. It's a 92 Nissan out there with mismatched doors.
Do you see what I'm saying?
But we made it here to serve.
Yeah, but it's some power in the building. So you know, it's all in your perception, man. Like if this right here made some people fall out with some people, but I refuse to fall out about anyone about how things just are. Now you recognizing it late, it's not on you. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? You just kind of have to take this, bite it, be like, ooh, that don't taste good. Take it out your mouth then. And keep moving. Go eat on something else. You know what I'm saying? Because they're gonna be and do what they're doing. Because that's who they are. It's not right,
No.
but it's reality. You know what I'm saying? Like it's about that bread. And when that bread's not moving, you think about it. A lot of the preaching you hear now is prosperity. They don't, but they don't teach you the rules you got to follow in order to gain that prosperity.
So that go the thing though.
You know.
And once I got clued in on this one pastor, the thing that every time he started to tell a story, the story was always positive.
Mm-hmm.
It always worked out. We know life don't work like that.
Mm-hmm.
So once I got onto his little trend, I started to say, you know what? You full of shit. And that's exactly what I said. And I ain't picked up his books. I ain't watched his shows no more. Nothing, man. Because you in the hustle game. You know.
And if you're on TV, you're in the big money hustle. So
he was on TV.
You're not even.
He's still on TV.
You're not even touching people. You know what I'm saying? You're
Brother,
the big money hustle.
There's nothing I can do. I can't add no more to your $1 million, multi-million dollars. I ain't buying a book. I ain't doing none of that. You know what I mean? Because I know, yeah, there's a lot of positive in life, but every story I'm gonna bring to you ain't gonna have a positive ending.
Mm-hmm.
You want the positive ending because it's gonna make everybody go, and they gonna.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, because nobody they don't pay for hard times.
We know life don't work like that, dude.
They don't pay for tribulations and hard times
Right.
that we actually deal with and go through.
But that's the whole thing, though.
They don't pay for that. They don't bring members in.
So you gonna keep telling me all this rah-rah to get me to when you can actually go to them, and if I mess it up, y'all, you know, it is what it is. I can't sit there and tell y'all no deep in the Bible. I know every verse back and forth, but I do know the story of Job.
Mm-hmm.
If you tell the story of Job,
Mm-hmm.
people gonna feel some type of way. You're gonna feel like it's always gonna be hope. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because you took it at a person who he was sick, he had lost all his riches,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and the money that he did have,
Mm-hmm.
he was torn away from his family,
Mm-hmm.
and he still came out
Mm-hmm.
better off on the other end.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? That's somebody that went through something.
Right. Right.
But everything can't be about, you know, in your time of need when you only had $10,000, then you went and you gave such and such $9,800, and you came back, now you a millionaire. Look at that. Look at praise God. You be like, you looking at the side eye like, something ain't right about this. And then when the other preacher dudes say, don't donate to the homeless, don't donate to the church. The homeless people you're not gonna change their life by doing that, you know, to give to the church. And I'm like, but that's God's work. You get what I'm saying? Like, how you gonna tell people you got to give it to me? Like, it got to run through me first before you feel like you gonna give it to somebody else. What? Come on, man. Like,
men become lovers of themselves, man. All it is that we see in the pages. That's all. And it looks so crazy to us because people have never been told a lot of these scriptures and a lot of these things, but they're seeing it. And they're like, wait a minute. Hold up, I wasn't ready for that. Go back over that one more time. Say that one more time. Yeah, you know. Like I said, it's our status. It's where we are, and it's what we place. You got to think about it now. On your money, it says, "In God we trust."
Right.
So God is affiliated with the money in this country. So when you affiliate God's name with blessings and prosperity, you're talking about the money. It's plain. It's been in our face the whole time, but we've really never put it together. You know what I'm saying?
Like you just say, people attach, you know, the worldly stuff to the money, and not understanding that you just rich if you got your health. But ain't nobody talking about it. We looking at you've been blessed with this new Rolls Royce. Everything's about something material. But we ain't gonna say, you know what, man? Well, look at here. They was thinking that you might have had cancer when you walked out of that sky.
Right.
Ain't nobody said nothing about that. Everything's attached to some kind of worldly possession.
Right.
And that's just, it's crazy. Like I say, and that's the reason why, like, smaller churches and people you know out there that's doing it right, I can't do nothing but support folks like that.
Yeah, for
You
sure,
know what I mean?
for sure.
But these big dogs, man.
Shout out to the real, man, you know.
Yeah, y'all, you know, we all might be going to hell, but they gonna get y'all first with gasoline draws. For real.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you what, man. I'm gonna tell you like this here, keep it funky, and I'm done with Marvin. But guess what? The truth ain't never did nothing to me.
There it is.
It's not hurt feelings, but it ain't never did nothing to me.
There it is.
So on that note,
Shout
out to the Duke Blue Devils as we go to bed tonight with those Houston boys.
I got to hear this. What that boy? He good into. Yo, Cooper.
You gonna do flan on that?
That's
terrible.
That boy good.
But see, that's the crazy part about Duke. Really, he could have a mediocre game, and we still blow people out. Because you gotta remember, we got so many other pieces that could go to other teams and bring them to that level. You think, okay, like they were talking about it on the pregame stuff. The height, just by itself, the average height on our team is 6'7", 6'7" and 4 1/4 inches tall.
That's crazy.
That's average height. So
average height.
Yeah. So our point guard is 6'5".
Yeah, tall boy.
2 guard 6'6", 3 6'7", Coop 6'10", Sudan 7'1" in the middle. And then you got the other kid on the bench that come off. He's 6'11". The kid beside him 6'10". You got the other cat 6'7" come in. I'm saying, like,
so,
and they're all skilled.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like they play good
D. Yeah.
They play good defense. They shoot the ball well. They play with each other.
Right.
You know, they don't be on that hot dog stuff because they all could play.
Right.
But they play together. You know what I'm saying? It's bananas. I was like, that's a lot of talent on one team.
You know, you shot not your people.
What Shot won Coach of the Year. You know what I'm saying? I was just saying.
Yeah, I gotta shout out my people.
They're just announced
Those almighty 8U Carolina Rhinos.
Oh, okay.
Still undefeated. First year coach Jazz. She doing her thing. She is doing her thing. You get what I'm saying? She got him prime.
That's what's up.
Okay. Give another shout out to my team. squad. They still undefeated.
You still got tackle football?
Oh yeah, tackle from the road. We finna start that next month.
I got a DB and a wide receiver for your team.
Send them to us.
Boom, they on the way because they been on my back.
I got my 12 guys that came up a little short today, and 14 guys they pulled out of Cleveland. I think they only lost one this season too. So I mean, I gotta give a big hand to them, man, because my AU squad, them boys, they were them boys and the young lady. Her nickname is Juju.
Oh wow.
Juju's been playing the last 2 games.
Uh-huh.
Yes, sir. The only thing about it is, I gotta get her to stay outside.
Okay.
She likes to cut back when she gets the ball.
Ooh, she like to hit something.
If she could, if she had on pants, yeah, most definitely, I think she would hit somebody. You know what I mean? But but that's like last week when they played. They got, it's 7 on the field. And the other team had 7 and 7 more on the sideline. We had exactly 7. And they punished them.
With 7.
With 7.
Gave it the work.
Yeah, they some ball players.
That's what's up.
I'm tickled. I'm ready to get the tackle season.
That's what's up.
But it's gonna be I think it's gonna end up being a good run for us because we got a lot of good kids, and we got a lot of good kids returning. Some of these kids, I hate to see them go. It's gonna be their last season with us, and they gonna roll off in the middle school ball before they go to high school. But big shout out to Chris Glover, the head coach in Carolina, because without Glover, be honest with you, we probably would have it tough. But he always, he stand in there for us, and all we can do is appreciate him. But I got a good group of parents, and I got some of the best coaches. You might look at them and say, "Boy, them boys wild," but they a group of men who really care about the kids. They ain't out there trying to stack no teams and just get no numbers. You know what I mean? That some of these orgs, they just want to pile on kids so they can show the org is big, but they ain't really trying to develop the kids into anything. You just here pay, hey, hurry up, pay your money. we need you on the field.
Right.
But that's one thing I will give my org. We have tested it out. I mean, we've been around since 2019. We done been through it all, and we still here. I get tickled every time I see them. I try my best to get to the practice field, to see them all and learn, the kids' names and all that kind of stuff, and just getting in a new group of parents and getting them acclimated to how we do business, and just staying, I'm gonna say more noble than humble, because I think when people say humble, they really don't understand the definition. Humble means you playing yourself low, and these kids ain't. They gonna stay in line. They don't go nowhere and try to start no records and nothing. But they come to play. They come to win. That's the only thing on their mind. And that juice box happens. Hey man, can I get that snack? But they do a great group of kids, and I shout out the whole org because they doing the work. I'm just a facilitator. I direct behind the scenes. I let my coaches coach. I ain't no micromanager. I don't do any of that. They come to me and they got ideas, they got concerns. We take care of them, and we roll on from there. So, but if any of y'all do have any 5 to 12-year-olds that want to play tackle football, sign them up. www.carolinarhinos.com, or you can reach us out on the field on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 5 to 7:30 for right now, since we're in flag season. And once May roll through, we'll get a tackle schedule going and our mini camp. So it look to be some fun, man. It'll be some fun. Keep this thing rolling.
What's up, man? Doing a good job.
Yes,
king of multitasking.
It's, I don't know about all that, but hey, you might have run that by my wife, but look at, I know she was like, hey, I ain't gonna ask you not one more time. When you've been married that long, you don't have to, we ain't gotta go into no deep discussion.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the way she bring it up, you know, you be like, okay, hey man, don't ask me about it now another time. I'm gonna get to it. Just hold on. I got about 2 or 3 more things in front of you, but I got you.
Right.
Just, you know how it go, man. You been it just as long as I have. So.
Yes.
You just shake your head and be like, boy, you can finish each other's sentences. You already know what's happening.
Yeah. Life's funny like that.
Right,
sometimes, you know?
right. Most definitely.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot going on a larger, let's go to a larger scale. We're gonna, due to the fact of how things are being handled by the United States right now, financially on an international level, we as a people need to get better in our finances. And I myself making moves in that area, and we were just talking about it before we went on air that we wanted to present a financial series on here, and so be looking for that because it'll be coming in the near future. We'll have that set up and be really just releasing information, man, that's gonna build each other, man. Because like in these times coming up, I don't care how big of an island you think you are. I don't care how tall you think you stand. Really and truly, you're gonna need someone, and we're gonna need each other I'm talking about the near future. I'm not I ain't talking about years to come. I'm talking about near future. We're gonna need each other, so we're gonna have to get used to the idea of not being all about me, all about me, all about mine, all about I. We're gonna have to start using words like our, us, we. We're gonna have to get to the words that basically bring unity in some way or another. Now, if you're not in that mindset, stay away. It's fine.
Yeah.
But if you are, we welcome you. So that's another reason to even subscribe to the podcast, because this is a good place to receive information that you may or may not hear anywhere else. So, or may not know how to find.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we're going to start having more people on that are in that financial realm that can drop those jewels and nuggets, you know what I mean, to help us do better and be better in the place that we're in, so that we can get to that next level and hopefully get to a place to where we're not smothered by what's going on.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
In this day and time, and really just look at how me and Cutter just handle business, period. And that's something we was talking about before we came on air. That the more and more I realize, a lot of these guys who are big business people never use their own money. They use somebody else's money to make money. And only the way you really get a hold of that kind of money is you have to have, your credit, as best you can. And we're gonna bring forth, some people that can help you get out of it. It's all about listening and gathering information. I swear up and down, people come to me, and ask me questions, and if I don't know it, I'm gonna help you find it. I promise you I don't know it all. You know what I mean? I'm learning just like everybody else. But we have to take care of it. You gotta take care of your credit. You got to. It is, you're gonna see just how important it is here, especially with people who, buying homes, because that's one of your biggest purchases. You want that you want your credit as solid as can, because that's gonna affect your interest rate. And maybe a percentage point here and there don't sound like a lot, But when you paying it over 30 years, that's monster. So you know.
But then you look at how digital everything is becoming too.
Yeah.
So you can't, you know what I mean? It's harder to rely on the paper.
Yeah.
On the paper notes, those promissory notes.
Yeah.
It's harder to rely on those now, more so than any time in our lives. So the information is the key. Knowledge is power.
You ain't lying about that.
You know what I'm saying? And in the right hands, it can help us get us through some things. So but just shout out to T over here, man, for really wanting to throw these things out to you on this podcast, because like as we talked a couple of weeks ago, it's his baby, you know what I mean? I'm supporting the dream, you feel me, the vision. So it's like, it's a beautiful thing when a person cares, a lot about others when they could be selfish amongst themselves. And just, it's almost like a village of squirrels. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you could gather nuts and put them all in your little stash, you know what I mean?
Right.
But in all actuality, we gotta all live in the same tree. So, I'm gonna be like, look, we're gonna put nuts over there. We're gonna put the other kind over there. So depending on what time of day it is, you know what I mean? You'll know where to go to eat.
What's really even sweeter for me is, having people that I consider, smart or, knowledgeable. And when they hit your inbox and be like, look, man, let's work, let's work on something, that type of deal. And this is like when we went back to the series on why, because it was something that me and you talked about. I kept talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And we were like, man, our skills is da 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 da. And in a sense, we were making excuses.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But they were valid. You know what I mean? Because we was just running.
Right.
And then finally when we said, you know what, man, just go for it. We'll straighten it up later. You know what I mean? So every episode is not going to be, it ain't maybe not made to go viral. It's really about the people who want to tune in and gain something. And I feel like if I don't know it, I know somebody that know it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I'm gonna search them people out there. You be looking in your inbox and get something from me. Hey, it's something in you that I see that I think need to be out there.
Yeah.
And but at the same time, we silly. We gonna get our shits and gimmicks. It's coming. You know what I mean?
I'm a very serious person.
Yeah, Joe Gates. Man, if you ever been in the barbershop with this Joe, you know he ain't serious. At all. The only thing I ever seen him get serious about was kids jumping on his furniture.
Hey.
Now, that bring about a whole different person. But other than that, man, you can't believe nothing Josh got going on, man.
I'm just saying.
Nah.
I remain in the professional role.
Yeah. Until them kids come on and jumping on that shit.
Why? Go ahead and slide that. Why? Yeah.
What Bernie say? Damn right, I slapped him in the head with a hammer. You ain't got to worry about who did it. I did it. But yeah, we got so much we trying to get done, and we actually gonna try to do a vendor fair here in June. So be on the lookout for that, and go on and reserve your table so we can get up the information. And it's all about us just getting out here, man, and realizing, because I made a post this morning, and I got a few people that chimed in on it, but I say, make black people love each other again. And it's just something that I felt. We got so much hate and animosity for each other because somebody live on a different side of town. That doesn't make any sense to me, man. We ain't grow, and we ain't have none of that. You know what I mean? I ain't when I was coming up, man, look here. We was kind of cats. You could be arguing 1 minute, and in 30 minutes, you know what I'm saying, we hanging out or we at each other's house or we, you know what I mean, we riding bikes. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't none of that. I just don't know where we're going. You know, we got to do better, man. We got to do better.
Yeah.
Please, you know what I'm saying? We just got to get back to putting value on each other, man. And if it's something that you don't jive with, it's okay. You ain't gotta hate it. You know what I mean? You just go around it. You know what I mean? I don't have to take time to bash nobody. Just okay, yeah, bro. That's what you do. You know what I mean?
Right.
Keep moving.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, the elders are gone, cause you know the elders used to hold us in place for that, cause they made you, and, you know, cause I'm telling you, they let you know who your people were. And it helped out. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what I mean.
You go over here and be like, well, I might not know. You know, I ain't got my elder with me, but I know such and such stay right here. So if I had trouble or something, or you know, just want to know what was going on, I could pull up right here.
Yeah.
You know, you don't see that.
You don't. The elders are gone. A lot of them. Some of them are still remaining, but it's a few.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of them just don't have the strength to keep holding the family in that area. You know what I'm saying? And you know, everyone didn't take over after that. So it's just like say life really put a lot of people in chokehold to the point where they had to take off and deal with their house, deal with their ventures, deal with whatever they have to do to survive. Which is really what happened. You know what I'm saying? When life speeded up, just like back in the day, you used to have a single income household and be fine. Long as it was a decent job, you were fine. But it began to switch to where it was mandatory 2 incomes, or one just ridiculous income. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's a lot of things change with our personal time.
And
You know what I'm
to
saying?
go back to that, you know, I've seen, you know, people who, you know, back then coming up, you be like, okay, well, you know, Jim will go lay at home, that type of deal. But I think about everything then. Not only did stuff was just cost less.
Yeah.
Man, nobody. If you had a credit card back then,
Oh, you was tough.
you was tough.
You was tough.
If you had that solid white JCPenney card,
You was somebody. You was somebody.
That back when JCPenney was downtown.
Yeah.
A lot of kids didn't know about that,
Yeah.
but I mean, that's back when they had to run your thing through that big machine. It gave you one of them. It gave you a little imprint on the car. That type of deal. Now it's an app for everything. You ain't even need the card no more. You just go in there and hit it up on some little buzz and, you know, it is done. But, you know, everything was less. So, you know, it didn't take a lot to run a household.
Right.
In a sense.
Right.
Now, everything is ridiculous. Everything is ridiculous.
It's just like that because they can.
But Kenny, I was looking at a truck. And no, actually I was watching a video. Guy said he going to the Chevrolet dealer to have his truck serviced. He said so while he was in there, he just, you know, taking around, you know, rolling around the lot, just looking at stuff. Pulled up on a new Silverado. Silverado. Don't get me wrong, it's tough to look at. It's nice and appealing to the eye. He said, man, I walked over there and looked at the sticker.
75, 80.
That took was $98,000.
Yeah.
I said, for a Silverado?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a Chevy dude, but that don't body. I said, there's no way.
Yeah.
There is no way.
Yeah.
Man, boy, what we gonna do, man?
Think about what the Denali's are. The Denali truck. That's a 1-bedroom apartment, honestly. That Denali truck, because you're going to live in that something. Because she 100.
You gotta check out that new, well, you can call it new, but the Escalade V.
Like a spaceship.
Man, it's huge. It's got damn near 700 horsepower from the factory, but she gonna beat you in the head.
Of course.
But, you know what I mean? So it's like, I like caddies, but boy, that's
Not that much.
man. buy you a couple mobile homes or something, and rent them jumpers out.
Right.
Boy, that's, and hey, shout out to anybody that's riding around with one.
Oh yeah, I mean, you got it. You got it.
Do your thing. But I can't do it, not right now.
And even when my money's like that, and it's on the way, but even when my money's like that, I'm still not going to. That's not my thing. I guess I'm just not into cars like that. First of all.
Oh, I love cars.
Yeah, see, that's just not my thing. As long as mine look decent, run, I got me a little music, man, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I'm good.
I guarantee you like this: you're not a car guy, but I guarantee you you're a sneaker guy.
I mean, I like a couple fresh pairs.
Right.
I like a couple
So as
fresh
you are a sneaker guy. I was kind of into sneakers until my foot got so big.
Hey, come on.
I'm serious.
Yeah.
Like literally, dude. Like and one time I could get them out of the old East Bay book.
Ooh, I'm crying.
The East Bay went to a certain size.
Yeah.
And once they went 15 to 16, they kind of cut you off.
Right.
So now it's like, okay. Then I started dealing with the Nike outlet. Because it depends on if I was here or if I had to go to Florida or at Disney, then I slide by, I might look up. Now, I had to get all my stuff from eBay. Seriously.
Yeah, you got to order it.
I mean, literally, I had to go on there and see whatever they got in my size, and that's how I had to order my
Choose from
stuff.
that.
Right.
That's right.
It's like, so my knack for sneakers kind of went out, because I ain't got Shaq money. I just can't go have no custom kicks or nothing.
I was gonna say, I mean, think about all that material they got to use. You know what I'm saying? You got the little jumpers in the sweat.
Hold
They in the sweat.
I ain't gonna let you creep it, Okay. But
I'm saying, you threw that
I'm
in.
a car guy.
You threw that in, but
I'm a car guy.
yeah.
Anybody know me, they know me. My first car was an 89 RZ. Still got the car. It don't run, but I still got it. My next car was a 94 Camaro. Sold it off. I was a speed baby. I was born in the speed. My dad had me. My dad and my mom.
NASCAR too. So
But actually, I love drag racing more than I love NASCAR.
Oh really?
Oh yeah, man. I do drag racing all day long. But in NASCAR, I was a big fan. Now it's just like, if it's on, I'll watch it. Other than that, I'm going.
Quick question: the Hamilton kid is that old buddy's son or something?
What?
The Hamilton kid, the old man who used to drive for Mercedes. He started out with Ferrari.
Come on, Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah, and now he that's not NASCAR. That's what's his name.
That's F1.
Okay, now there's a young kid, last name Hamilton. He runs for Ferrari now.
That's
Is that his son?
No, Lewis Hamilton runs for Ferrari now. He worked for Mercedes.
Okay.
Yeah, he
So that's the original Hamilton.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
he just looks so young. I was like, dang, is that his son?
He when you talk about goats, he goat all time.
Yeah, he tough.
He tough.
I was looking at his stuff because my father-in-law was big. Shout out JR. You understand it? He keep me up on that kind of
See,
thing.
because the thing about it is,
He love that.
and the reason
That's
why.
his part.
Oh, I got to pull over here.
Oh,
I
really?
got all his cars. I'm waiting on the Ferrari car. I got his
I
car.
just found out about him fooling my father-in-law.
Really?
Real talk. Yeah, I just found out.
Listen, and that's the whole thing. Nobody really knows about Lewis Hamilton.
Mm.
And like but when I tell you, the guy is just, he that bullet focused when he gets into that car. You're not gonna beat him.
Wow,
That's
that's how they talk about him too.
Yeah, and that's the way he runs. But when you go to speak to him, or the interviews you see with him, man, he was one of those just polite dude. He ain't got no ego on him. He just came to race. So 7-time world champion. And when I say go, and what you gotta understand the difference between him and then you say, well, I give a shout out to Dale Earnhardt and Richard Petty, because they've done it. They championships with all these driver points and owner points and all this getting in. They ran race cars back then. Now it's all this driver points and owner points and all this and top 35. Them guys, they race. These new kids don't. I ain't taking them from them because they still athletes to me. You know, because it's gonna take something else to be in that car. You think so? Something like the World 600. That's 600 miles on a mile and a half track in May in Charlotte. It's hot. Believe it or not, it's hot. But to be in a car that long, you gotta be some kind of athlete.
Yeah.
It ain't for the weak. But all I can say is that you look at the systems that kind of got some of these guys where they at. That but them F1 boys ain't got none of that. You got to race. You got to race.
I'd be afraid. Their cars look too fragile to me. Like one good mistake and you're in the newspaper. See, that's how I look at theirs.
Yeah, that open wheel racing is different.
But I'm talking scat.
Now, NASCAR, you can bang bodies.
Yeah. So
You know
that's
what
how
I'm
you stand a chance.
Right.
Of
Then
surviving.
you touch wheels, somebody don't not make it. But drag racing is where it's at, though. I've always been a drag racer.
You go to West shows?
I haven't been to West shows in a minute, but
Don't they have that at Charlotte Speedway too?
So, what a speedway is,
Uh-huh.
then you got the drag track is, Z-Max is just basically want to say over the hill.
Okay.
And,
Okay.
but like I say, when I was coming up, I knew Shirley Muldowney, I knew Big Daddy Don Garlis, and my man was Connie Coletta, the bounty hunter, and Tom Mongoose from Cuban, Don Padone. I mean, I was hooked. I was hooked when I was a little bitty kid. You know what I mean? Now, ain't nothing changed. I would love to see something go from here and in 1,000 feet. I can run 340 miles an hour. That's saying something.
They sound like old wrestlers. I was trying to pick up on the people you were talking about.
The people I was talking with, Shirley Muldowney is a legend in itself. Because I mean, when you talk about female drag races, outside of
Oh, they got female drag races.
oh, she was dead. She was it. She was the one that not only broke the mold, but I mean, she ran with the best of them. She beat, Don Garlis. And Don Garlis was the man. He was the swamp rat himself. I mean, he was the epitome of drag racing at the time. And yeah, Shirley Muldowney, she's still tough, But man, I love drag racing. And
Wow.
and watching the guys over the years. I was always I've been a big fan of Jaycutta for a long time. Him, Antron Brown, Angel Sanpay when she was on the bikes. When Antron was on the bikes. And that just, like I say, man, it's just something about when you drag racing, especially when you get around those nitro cars. Once you get it in your veins, you're gonna always want to go back.
I went to a race. I'm gonna tell you something though. There's a couple things I wasn't ready for. See, I got to talk about this thing like I live in. One of the things that got me, first of all, was the exhaust. I didn't know you smell it like that. I didn't know it come up there and see you like that. I didn't know you in the race. I didn't know that. So I wasn't prepared to be in the race when I got there. Another thing was the noise scared the hell out of me because they're going so fast, but they send the waves of sound. So I wasn't ready for none of that. So I wasn't ready for none of that. Not at all. And see, this I went with brothers from other mothers. You understand me? I went with one of the other folk other side there, and I was with them. And they were excited. Hell, I'm hyped too, cause I'm with them. On the bullseye. I don't know nothing. Don't know nothing about it. You know, we done
Drive that route.
We done drunk up about 12 pack.
Oh, Lord,
So,
that's the alcohol.
so we ready, you know, we
Right.
out there, you know, and well, all of it changes when you get in your seat because see, it was certain things they did that prepared them for all that stuff. See, they was ready for the wave, the sound wave, the shot from the cars hitting that speed like they're coming by you and all this kind of stuff. We were fairly close.
Yeah.
So I wasn't ready for none of that. Like, and this shows you how far removed I am from the vehicles. I went to just a simple joint at the old Bilo Center. Before it became Born Secure, they had brought Grave Digger and all of the
You was in trucks.
and they had the dirt bikes that raced in there. They had like the little motocross type.
Yeah,
deal.
motocross.
So the fumes. So I wasn't ready once again. I didn't know anything about that. I got too close. I wanted to move my seat, but it was packed. I couldn't
go
get off
nowhere.
down there. Man, look here, I got too close. That thing, man. The fume they took in on me, and yeah. And then they get the motors to be so loud. Just
Well, I can only imagine,
and
in
it's
that
enclosed.
closed space,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
guarantee you that was like,
it's enclosed, and I was just like, no way possible.
oh yeah.
Your truck is entirely too big to be loud like that. You feel me?
Nah, man.
But see that, and that's the thing though. Like that world excites some people, but people like myself who aren't used to that, who don't know much about that.
We gotta get you to a race, man.
Yeah, I'll go back now because I know what to expect. You see what I'm saying? I know it's gonna go down.
So we need to get you to a drag race, a real live NHRA drag race.
Yeah.
And then we need to get you to a NASCAR race.
Yeah, because we need to actually do a nice podcast at a drag strip or something. You know what I mean?
That might
Even
be,
if we
that might
do
be something.
even if we do live, you know, just go live there, just because I want y'all to experience this thing with me because it's gonna be new for me. But I want to laugh though. I want no funny messages. You know what I mean?
Hey,
Folks
they gonna get you.
You know what I'm saying?
They gonna get you.
Because it go down, feel me?
Yeah, definitely if you're going to watch the NHRA, because
That's the drag strip, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
There's nothing that can really prepare you for 10,000 horsepower, and that's just one car.
Yeah, that's too much.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's too much.
And when they hit, I tell you what, you ain't even gotta be on the in the grandstands. You know, with NHRA, when you buy a ticket, every ticket you buy from them is a pit pass. So you can walk through the pits where them guys warming up them cars, and hit when they do those pops, when they hit them, that right there enough to shake you. You gonna be like, oh, okay, I got you. He ain't at throttle, he ain't at nothing, man. They just warming them cars up. When you hear that, then you get excited. Yeah, you wait till you sit in them stands and them jokers come by you running 330 miles an hour like it ain't nothing. Oh, you gonna be like, okay, this a whole different beast. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot.
You got one or two things gonna happen. Either it's gonna hurt your heart in your head so bad you'll never wanna go again, or you gonna be begging somebody to take you to the next one. Then the only options you got. They is no neutral.
Wow.
But I guarantee you probably walk away a fan. Yeah.
Well, we're gonna try it, man. Yeah, we're gonna try it. I'm gonna get out there. You know, I'll make sure it's
I want to
live.
see this, but
I'll make sure it's live. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
we're gonna have to get somebody with the video camera and all.
Yeah, we'll get a crew.
Big.
Yeah,
Say no more.
yeah. I'm gonna go through because I ain't scared though.
I ain't say you scared.
I mean, on the inside, a little bit, just a little bit. But yeah, that's I learned from people around me that's into that kind of stuff, man. I like I say, I sit around talking to father about it a lot, and he runs through it.
And you sit there looking like you have no idea what he's talking
Not
about.
a clue.
Not we need to hook Pops up. We need to, me and him need to talk.
Yeah. I'm definitely gonna do that.
Yeah,
Because I wanted to take him up there to the Hall, what's that, the Hall of Fame type deal?
Yeah, in Charlotte, downtown Charlotte.
Yeah, Charlotte. I want to take him up there.
Yeah, the NASCAR Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I wanted to, let him go and take him up there and take him shopping. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let him, because he got this little favorite. He got his little guys he mess with. You know what I mean? Of course, he got the classics because he collects those collectible cars that he's put together and stuff.
Oh, he got the models.
He got the model cars, like old vintage joints, like.
Okay.
And he got some drag joints and all that.
I got another diecast, man.
Yeah.
My wife made my man cave, and she used probably a quarter of what I had, and my whole room was decorated. I got stuff in boxes. It's crazy. I got a whole wall that ain't nothing but Bill Elliott race cars. Because that was my favorite driver, NASCAR driver at the time.
Oh, okay.
So, it's crazy, man. I'm telling you, even when you get into your first NASCAR race, I took Jimmy and my homeboy Paulie. I took them to a race, and they were junkies by the time they left. They could the speed. It's different watching it on TV than you sitting right there, and you be like, oh, okay, this thing here is different. Yeah. But
they go too fast for me.
Nah, that ain't that. Me and my baby brother went to the first IRL race in Charlotte in 1997. I'll never forget it. To see those cars move that quick on a mile and a half track to the point you can't keep up. The only way you really could keep up was to watch the big jumbo screen.
So you can't see them.
You can see them, but trying to keep up.
Focus on one car.
Right, because that's how quick they would move. So you had to watch the screen from the trailer, the big jumbotron to kind of keep up with this thing. That's how quick they would move. You talking about a mile and a half track, these boys running 223 miles an hour like it ain't nothing. But we enjoy it.
Yeah. Shout out to the speed demons and action junkies.
Man, look at ain't nothing like some speed, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I might have to get with that. I'm gonna try it though.
We're gonna try it. We're gonna go live with it. Yeah.
But like I say, I'm gonna try some new stuff. I'm gonna do it.
Put it on your bucket list.
Yeah, well, the bucket almost full, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that this year. My bucket runneth over. You see what I'm saying? But yeah, just all of with all the things that's going on, man, it's good to laugh. It's good to have some things that you can do to relax, and things that let you kick back and let you really not think about what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And just let down for a second and really enjoy yourself and realize one thing and just be grateful that you're still alive regardless of what's going on. Because truth be told, it could always be worse. So I just see how the number of people who are passing away, man, in groups. So like, I want to send my condolences and shout outs to these families, man, that are dealing. Condolences and prayers go out to y'all, man. Y'all stay strong and just know we're in those last days, and that's how things are going. And we just got to continue to prepare ourselves, like you was talking about earlier, with the health thing. We got to key in on that more and stop. This is one thing I want our people to do, and I know some folk gonna be kind of sideways about it, but I really don't care. These traditional foods that were passed down to you that aren't any good for you, stop eating them. Because it's like, we know they're the cause of a lot of things. So just stop. You know what I'm saying? And stop being so stubborn when people are trying to help you get better and help you change your life in certain areas. Because I used to be guilty of being stubborn about trying to change certain areas of my life and different things. So just start opening yourself up and thinking about it a little more and receive some of the things people are saying, especially because they're coming out of love, because they're saying something that's going to improve you. And and it's gonna increase you. So if they're coming to increase you, they must care something about you. So at that moment, care something about yourself at that moment. And take heed to some of the things you're hearing, and you know, and like I say, all of us, we can stand to do more when it comes to getting in better shape, mental shape. We got to work on these minds. You know what I'm saying? Because you won't exercise if your mind not good. If you got too much going on up here, there's nothing else you can do out here. You know what I'm saying? So make sure, you know, if you take 10, 15 minutes a day, sit to yourself, ask yourself, are you doing the things that you need to do to better yourself? Give yourself 10 or 15 minutes a day of just you. You know what I'm saying? And really give yourself some time to just unwind for a second and think about some things. If you have more time, give yourself more time. But if you don't have a lot and you're busy, like a lot of us, take that 10 or 15 minutes and really just mull some things over. Think about some of the things you're trying to do and kind of, you know, keep yourself on point. You know, it's just small little things that lead to a big vision. You know, but it takes those small things in order for us to get to where we're trying to go to. That's my nugget to the people for the day. I care about y'all, man, really, and we are passing away because we do refuse to change it. They have changed our food a lot. There are a lot of harmful things in the food that didn't used to be. A lot of food is being grown in a totally different way than it used to be. So we have to now adjust. It's not about who's right, who's wrong. It's about adjusting so that you can, you know, have some type of endurance in your life. You know what I mean? So, yes. That's all I have. You got something, brother?
Small something.
All right. Talk to the people.
Listen to your body.
Yes, that's good.
And when your body say,
that's a full statement.
stop, I've had enough, listen. When something is just constantly nagging you, man, it's okay to go to the doctor. I know people, you know, it's just ignoring us. You know, most of us as men, you know, you tough it out, and next thing you know, you hear your partner fell over dead at work for something you really could have prevented. Why? 'Cause we gotta stay on the grind. We gotta make sure everybody good, but you can't do nothing if you ain't here.
Yeah.
So listen to your body. You know, make those appointments. If you don't do nothing, just get your physical done every year. You know, at least stay on, you know, on top of it. And especially as we age, you know, it's gonna get tougher and tougher. Those, you know, when you used to laugh at folks and trying to figure out why they taking Jaycutta and all this, man, the multivitamins come in handy when you cross that 50 spot now. For real, you just don't, you really don't understand it until you get there. So if I got any negative for you, just like I say, pay attention to your body. It's gonna tell you when something is not right, and there's no need to ignore it. Especially if most of us got, you know, health insurance or something. Hey man, you better go to the doctor. You better use it up. You know what I mean? Better to be something that you can, you know, help prevent than, you know, you falling over dead at work because somebody needs you on vacation and you ain't gonna make it on vacation. Yeah. You know what I mean? So take care of yourself and each other, and I guess we'll see you guys next week.
Yes, sir.
Same time,
Same channel.
same channel. Peace and love.
Love y'all, man. Y'all be safe, be easy.